was 4 years old, my mother and I climbed into a raft, and we crossed the river to join my father in America. My family and I are here because of people like Senator Harry Reid. When Donald Trump talks about deporting 11 million people, he's talking about ripping families apart, separating families like mine. Hillary Clinton understands that this is not who we are as a country.
Well, illegal immigrants were represented at the DNC last night. That young lady was right there, Astrid Silva. She wants to stay here. Now meet the mother of a young man, a police officer, Sergeant Ann Mendoza, who was killed in a drunk driving accident by an illegal immigrant. Welcome, Mary Ann Mendoza. Mary Ann, welcome to our program. It's good to see you with us this morning.
Thank you, Stuart. I appreciate it.
How did you feel when you saw an illegal immigrant pleading to stay at the DNC last night?
It's their agenda to make people feel sorry and have sob stories like this, but that's all they're going to get out of the story. They're not going to get of what this is going to cost every American taxpayer to keep them here with it through the DREAM Act. I am separated from my son permanently, and I'm an American citizen. I've been paying taxes all of my life. And when you have a politician who cares more about illegal families being ripped apart, more than she cares about American families having their loved one killed by illegals, it's disgusting to me. And, you know, these dreamers, they're going to get $6,000 a year to attend college, which is going to cost the taxpayers $6.2 billion a year. And once they have attended 2 years of college, they will be granted permanent legal status in our country.
Okay. I want to ask you about what happened to your son. I know that he was killed by an illegal immigrant, but you tell us what happened to that illegal immigrant.
Well, he was killed in the accident also, and I have been spared having to watch him, you know, just be released from jail like so many other American families, thousands of American families who have been affected by illegal crime. They have had to watch their, you know, the person who killed their child or their loved one not serve their whole sentence, not be deported to Mexico. So this illegal was driving 3 times the legal limit drunk, high on meth, over 35 miles the wrong way on 4 different freeways in Phoenix before slamming head-on into my son, who had just left work, and killed my son.
May I just turn the argument around for a moment and go back to the young lady, the young illegal who was at the DNC last night? She did make a humanitarian case. I understand that you don't feel for it, but she did make a humanitarian case. If those illegals are deported, some families will be broken. Do you have some feeling for that?
I know that there are good people. My son worked in the area of Mesa, Arizona, where he worked. He worked with a lot of illegals, and I do have compassion for people who don't break the law. My main concern is the criminal element in our country, and there are a lot of dreamers that actually take on other identities in order to get a job. And so when they apply for the DREAM Act, on their application, if they're applying in their real name, whatever crimes they committed under this assumed identity will never be associated with them. And our country has no way of keeping track of the crimes that are committed by people using false identity. So there's a lot of layers to this whole DREAM Act, and it's not just as simple as saying, come over, you can stay here, and we don't want to separate your families. This is a bigger story than the liberals want you to know.
Mary Ann Mendoza, thank you very much for joining us this morning and telling a very difficult story. We appreciate it, and thank you.
Thank you very much.